Assalamualaikum and hi. In this video, we're going to learn how to use the modulus operator in Java to solve some problems. Before we get started, it's good if we can do a quick revisions about modulus. We know that modulus returns a remainder for division. So for example, if 5 divided by 2 is equal to 2.5, 5 modulus 2 will be equal to 1. If 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2, 4 modulus 2 will be equal to 0. This is the basic mathematics. Now, if we're going to use modulus in Java, we will need to use the percentage sign here. If divide, as we know, we need to use the slash, and for modulus, we will need to use the percentage sign. So here, if 5 divided by 2, the output is 2. The exact output should be 2.5 because in this case, we are dividing an integer with another integer. That's why we'll get 2. If 5 divide modulus 2, obviously that will be equal to 1 in this case, right? Now, we can actually use modulus to solve some problems. In this case, if you are asked to identify whether a given number is an odd number or an even number, you can actually use the modulus operator to achieve that. For example, in this case, we do integer x is equal to 4, where we declare a variable x with the data type integer, and we assign a value of 4 to that variable. And then we use a conditional statement here, if else, to check for specific conditions, where in this case we say x modulus 2 is equal to 0. So the condition here is x modulus 2 is equal to 0. So if any given number modulus 2 is equal to 0, that will be an even number. Just like the example we have seen earlier, if 4 modulus 2 will be equal to 0. If that's an odd number, for example, 5, so 5 modulus 2, they'll be equal to 1, which is not 0. So we can use a conditional statement together with the modulus operator to identify whether a given number is an odd number or an even number. Of course, now we are going to deal with a more complex problem. The questions here say, suppose today is Friday and you plan to meet your friends in 4 days. Write a Java program to determine what day of the week it will be in 4 days using a numerical representation, which means, for example, Sunday is equal to 0, Monday is equal to 1. In that case, Friday will be equal to 5. And next it says, your program should take the current day as a number. So here will be 5 in this case, and the number of days to add as inputs. So here again will be 4. As a hint, obviously it's not a hint here. We need to use the modulus operator. But before we move on to think about how we can solve these, actually you can just do simple calculations here. For example, today is Friday. You are going to meet your friends in 4 days. So 1 day, that will be Saturday. 2 days, that will be Sunday. The 3rd day will be Monday. And the 4th day will be Tuesday. So by doing a simple calculations, you know that if today is Friday and you are going to meet your friends in 4 days, that will be Tuesday. So the answer should be 2. But that would be a little bit complicated if we were going to convert everything into Java. So now let's look into how we're going to solve this. So now let's start by represent all days with numbers. In this case, I represent Monday with 1, Tuesday with 2, and finally Sunday with 7. And remember, our question is we want to find out if today is Friday, which day would that be if I'm going to meet my friends in 4 days' time? So let's look into a simple example before we try to find solutions for that. So assume that today is Monday and you are going to meet your friends in 2 days' time, there will be 1, because Monday is represented by 1, plus 2, that will be equal to 3. And we know that 3 will be Wednesday. But the question is, can we apply the same thing to our questions? Because our question is Friday plus 4 days. So Friday is 5 plus 4, that will be equal to 9. The problem is here 9, we do not know based on the table, 9 is which day, whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. But it turns out that we can actually use modulus to help us to solve these problems, where we can use modulus to specify a range of the output of our additions. So for example, in this case, if my output is 9, or my result here, 5 plus 4 is 9, I can do 9 modulus 7, okay? Because if we look into this table here now, if 9 modulus 7, that will be equal to 2, and I know that 2 can be represented by Tuesday. And these formula apply to all different numbers. So you can see here it says the least continuous, because no matter how big is your number, if we are going to modulus that with 7, then you will have a specific range that will be between 0 and 6, which can be represented using the table here. Okay, but there will of course be a slight modifications here, where we say the Sunday will be represented by 0, because there's no point where we say 7 modulus 7, right? Now, let's test on this. Now, for example, if we say today is Saturday plus 20 days, you're going to meet your friends in 20 days' time. If today is Saturday and you are going to meet your friends in 20 days' times, what will be that day? So we can use a formula there. We say Saturday is equal to 6 plus 20, that will be equal to 26. And we use 26 modulus 7, that will be equal to 5, the remainder here. So we know that that day will be Friday. Now the formula slowly comes into shape, and we can actually turn that into Java code. So now I've created a few variables here. As you can see, the formula here, we say the new day. The new day is represented by the days that you and your friends are going to meet, is equal to the current day. So if you look back into our questions, well, current day is Friday, right? Plus the days to add. Days to add is in how many days that you and your friends are going to meet. In our case, that we're 4, okay, and then modulus 7. So in our case, new day will be equal to 5 plus 4 modulus 7. Okay, and I will get 2, which is Tuesday, which is exactly the same as the calculations that we did earlier. So if I'm going to turn that into a formula in Java code, I will have something like this. I'll create 3 variables here. The first is current day. The second is the days to add. And the third will be the new day. And all of these 3 variables will be with the data type integer. And I first declare or initialize integer current day is equal to 5, where in this case 5 is Friday. And the next one is integer days to add. We know that it's 4 days based on the questions. Then our answer will be integer new day, the day that you and your friends are going to meet, will be equal to current day plus days to add modulus 7. But that's, again, a little modifications that we need to do here, because we know that Sunday cannot be represented by 7. So we will need to do something here where we add a specific conditions. Okay, so here the first 3 lines are exactly the same as the previous example you have seen, but I add a conditional statement here where I say if new day is equal to 0, then new day is 7, where 7 is actually Sunday. Let's twist a little bit on the value. So for example, now today is Friday, okay, 5. If I'm going to meet my friends in 2 days' time, 2 days, so that will be first day, Saturday, second day, Sunday, right? So I know that If today is Friday and I'm going to meet my friends in 2 days' time, that will be Sunday. Okay, so if 5 plus 2, that will be equal to 7. 7 modulus 7 will be equal to 0. Okay, but based on my table, there's no 0. Okay, so I need to add a conditional statement, as you can see here. If new day is equal to 0, then my new day is equal to 7, which is Sunday. Okay, so that's the purpose of that little conditional statements. But you do not need to do that if you assign 0 to Sunday. So let's say you have Sunday is equal to 0, Monday is 1, Tuesday is 2, Wednesday is 3, then you do not need to have that specific conditional statement. I hope you have a better understanding of how modulus can be used to solve some complex problems through this video. Thank you very much.